So just if anyone out there have problems with an itching penis and all that, I thought I would just give my thoughts on that. Who knows? Maybe it could help someone. Um, First thing, of course, if you've been to the doctors and they can't figure out what it is and all that, and even if they have figured out that it might be a fungi infection or whatever, and that you want to help as much as possible in regard to the diet. Of course, you don't want to feed this bugger and end up like me having issues and letting it spread all over your body, taking you over and all that over time because they can't figure out what it is, and they send it you to a shrink instead or whatever, and or give you psychotropic drugs, because instead of actually treating the right head, they treat the wrong head. But of course, there's nothing new in regards to the medical system, that they're mistreating people because they're misdiagnosing them. Anyway, if you are in the beginning of having an itch that is utter, just is really, it's driving you mad, right? So there are different things and all that, but I think the best solution that I figured out was to just eat meat, pretty much. Meat, salt, and water, pretty much. And try that out. Although, in regards to what was it? Oh yeah, in regards. So yeah, although you need to remember, don't drink alcohol. You take alcohol out, you take any sugar out. It's just all this bullshit. Alcohol. If you're smoking, stop smoking. You want to give your body the best, conditions for actually getting around. So. And the best thing that I found out 19 years down the line, or 18 or 19 years down the line, is that I could actually control the itch by eating red meat. Now, it has to be red meat. And of course, I would suggest, to get it from a good source where, if it's possible for you to know if, having a source that doesn't slaughter the meat to Allah in regards to a false god without a son and all that. And seeing if you can get it in regards of where they eat natural, food, in regards of grass-fed and so forward, if that is possible. Cow and sheep, that's the two I've tried that seems to have a positive effect. Those two. So try that. I haven't tried goat, but so I'm not sure if it's actually a red meat or not. I think it is, but anyway. Cow or sheep, get those. And try to eat that, salt it, and have water for, drinking. Now, in regards of going to the toilet, in regards of eating only meat, actually, if you have tried, eating fruit and vegetables a lot and all that, being a vegetarian or whatever, that, you would know that you probably, you go to the toilet a couple of times a day. But when you're eating meat, the body has a way of actually using all the meat nearly. So the output is, compared to the input, is, a lot of difference, It's, the body really effectively used the meat. I'm not sure all about the details in regards to that, but, I remember the first time when I began to try a meat diet and all that. And I was like, I think on the third day, I was kind of scared that maybe I had blocked my system by only eating meat, but no. So I ended up doing some things to get the bowels moving and all that. I hadn't blocked the bowels. So it's just the thing is, it's just using all the meat. Pretty much, it's using a huge amount of the meat. Now, of course, that can be a problem when you go to the toilet. It can be a little more messy if you're only eating meat. If you're eating vegetables like fruit and vegetables and know how you might have a lot of poop, coming out, but the poop is usually just easy to get out, and it's, you might not even need to wipe yourself, because it's, or if you wipe yourself, it's like nothing on it, and yeah, you're pretty much clean, So that's the nice thing with that, but but we want to be only meat, because we don't want any sugar feeding the fungi. So one of the solutions, I feel actually one of the best solutions I have in regards to this, is this. It's called the bidet. It's very cheap. It's like, if you take it in dollars, I would guess you could get it for around $20. You of course need to have something to mount it with, and it's mounted to my toilet at the moment and all that. And what it does is to pretty much have a water pistol in some sense at your disposal, and then you have the toilet down there, right? And you sit on the toilet and you just take this one and you fix it down under and, get it a good spooling. You spool your ass pretty much. You spool the star. That works very, very well. I have issues down there, which I actually got before my itching in my penis and all that. That might actually have been one of the things that actually went for going for that issue, and drinking alcohol and all that. Ending in a lot of stupidity and all that. Trying to also run away from my problems, which ended up with starting a new problem, which ended up in a lot of other problems and so forward. Any case, but that's not the topic, of course, I guess. But anyway, it's cheap, it's water, and it cleans you out down there. You feel very clean afterwards having, done that. But again, it can be a little more messy if you're only eating meat and you're pooping and all that. It can be a little more messy down there because it doesn't slip as, I guess it must be in regards to the fibers keeping together or whatever, usually the vegetables and fruit really, seem to keep together. And even if you have a lot of trash moving out, it seems to not make a big mess, usually. Anyway, so, but you have a lot, you have a lot of bulk, I guess it's called, compared to eating meat. You don't get that much output on the meat. Anyway, so what I would suggest is in regards of if you have the itch and you really, really need to figure something out, at least that's one way of maybe helping on the issue. As far as that was, it took me so many years to figure that out because I was led into the vegetarian bullshit and all that, and not eating meat and so forward. So I actually was lured away from, it might, at this point it's not the solution, but it might have been the solution if I actually had catch it at the beginning. I was, I have other issues as well and so forward. But it was so nice to find out that I could stop the itch with actually just eating meat. So if you want a little more fiber in it, you can, you might not be so hit in regards. So that might actually just work if you just, lowering the dose a huge amount. Avocados is very low in sugar, 0.6 grams of sugar per 100 grams. Olive oils, there's no olive oils in this glass. Olive oils are like down on a 0. And this is in the olive oil as well. There's different opinions in regards of oil and all that, in regards of oxidation and all that. But anyway, whatever the case, this is olives in olive oil, and it's like 0 grams of sugar. So no sugar, and that's what we want. And of course, olives are also said to be antifungal, so that would be include the oil as far as I know. And cucumbers. So cucumbers are like, what was it? Like 1.6 grams of sugar per 100 grams. And broccoli seems to be the same. I haven't really done broccoli, not at the, after trying but if you want more fibers just to get the bowels moving a little more, to get some more, output, to help you in regards to the toilet and all that, there are these options. But if you want to totally, if you go on the total meat and you can see it actually helps, well, at least then you have the foundation of then little by little see if, because you might, people are on different levels, and if you catch it at the very beginning, you might just be able to just by removing alcohol, removing sugar, and stop smoking and all that. If you're doing these things, you might just, and just change your diet. You might actually just turn the boat around, and stop the itch, and make the body able to turn the boat around and fix itself and get the issue under control. So because I was given antifungal creams in the beginning, I tried different antifungal creams down there, and if anything, it actually just seemed to make it actually worse. And I was also, anyway, that's a lot of, I was told by one of these special doctors that, one of the creams that I've used down there, I should never have used down there. Oh, great, thanks. It's nice to know that you guys have, know what you're doing, right? Anyway, so, but they tried the things that they had in regards to creams, and when that didn't really fix it, then they pretty much just put me on psychotropic drugs, because the issue down there apparently has something to do with this, apparently. That is just a belief that the itching is going out down there. It's just insanity, And of course, you're not totally happy if you have an issue, right? Isn't that natural to actually be somewhat, what shall we say, not so super happy? Hey, doctor, I have the itch in my groin, I'm just totally happy. You wouldn't expect that, would you? That you say, hey, woohoo, woo, 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 I just love, you're probably going to be some kind of little sad, I just have this, I have this issue down there, and itching, and it's horrible, I want to take my, it's just, it makes you nut. It pretty much, it's just, it's, you don't have any relax when it's really, really, really going down there. It's just, you're really close to just, thinking about, hey, maybe I should cut it out, cut it off, in some sense. Is that you're really at the point of just, this is just horrible. This is utter horrible. Or you want to knock your head in the wall or something like that. I've never done that. But you're just thinking, this is just, this is, it's just driving you nut, Anyway, it's driving, it's like, oh, anyway, I guess you get it, and if you have the problem, you probably will get what I'm thinking, I don't know if women will, it's probably might work also for women in regards, because when you're stopping feeding the fungi sugar, that tends to, that's the favorite food, that seems to actually do something. It seems to stop them from actually... anyway, it's just a thing from me, pretty much, and again, you might not even be so hit, so if you just, even if you take some of these, if you just change your diet and stop doing these stupidities, if you're doing this, if you're drinking alcohol, smoking, and, getting a lot of sugar and all that, if you just stop that, you might actually just, be able to turn the boat around. But if you're going to continue on that path, and not getting the issue solved, you might get in a really, really bad mess that is really, really, really hard to get through, like me, and make a lot of havoc in your body, and something is wrong, and yet no one, there's no help, absolutely no help to get when you're just being put in the nutcase box. And a lot of people apparently is being put in the nutcase box by these white coat murderers and butchers. Now, I might not be too nice but in regards to these people, but that's pretty much what they are. They make people suffer. They make people, they kill people in regards to this wicked system, and by misdiagnosing and mistreating people. And then they come out as the good guys, perfect system, because there are some things that actually do good, but there's also a huge amount of wicked things going on, it's just incredible. It's nice that you can get, if you break your leg and all that, that you can get that fixed and all that, but when you're misdiagnosing and mistreating people, that's just insane. Anyway, and in regards of as at the beginning, in regards of the itching I had down there, they were actually on the right track. But then so far and no further, right? Just like, we don't want, I remember one of the specialists who's just sitting there, I don't know. Hey, I have a good idea, you specialist doctor. Maybe try some diflucan, maybe. Would that be too much? Don't you use that for women in regards of fungal issues? but you never thought about actually giving it to me in the beginning. And diflucan, by the way, is it's one of these antifungal remedies and all that they use for women, because women get fungal issues, and they seem to overlook that men might actually also get fungal issues. I just don't understand why no one tried that on me, and actually instructed me to change my diet. So the diet has absolutely something to do with these things. So if you cut out all the sugar and try that out, in regards of eating, you can go totally. I pretty much did that in regards of just eating meat. Just eating meat and just a little bit of sugar could start things up again, So yeah, just a little bit of sugar, and that's. But of course, you might not be so far, so you might actually just change it and eat some broccoli, some avocado, and some cucumber and some olives and all that at the side, and it might actually work, without any, it might actually do its thing. But overall, I needed to totally go total meat, and it's like if you're having the itch and you want it to stop, because I know the itch can be terrible. It's just utterly terrible. Utter terrible, driving one nuts. If you want that to stop, here's one solution at least. Here's one way to actually, because I didn't get any instructions in regards to actually, I got a lot of bad, I didn't really get any, there was no help to get pretty much. So try it out, try it out and see what happens. There's nothing, I'm not selling anything or whatever, it's just try it out, it's just, I wish I had that information around 19 years ago. So, that's the information, if you have itch in the penis and it's driving you nuts, try changing your diet in regards of eating nearly only red meat. And again, it depends on yourself what you want to try, but red meat, salt, and water. That seems to be the thing that totally, you totally go down on zero sugar, But again, you might not be so hit, so you might actually just be able, to change some things and actually get better, that the body can, recube, or begin to fix the issue. The issue might not be so widespread in the body, so the body might actually be able to fix itself just by you doing some minor things, So that's my suggestion, Drop the alcohol. If you're drinking any alcohol, that's absolutely no good. Throw it away. And all the sugar and all that, and bread and pasta and whatever, just throw it away, and try this out, If you have the itch, how horrible it is, and if the doctors can't fix it or anything like that, and and you want to find a solution, well, this is the best that I can give. This is the best thing that I pretty much have found throughout my years. And again, I was lured into being a vegetarian and all that. That was just, way off from the mark, in regards of actually finding something that could help me. And not making, I was just feeding it sugar, by being a vegetarian. So I guess that's all from me, is there anything else? Of course, you could also begin to incorporate antifungals in your daily life and all that. A little here and a little there. That's pretty much, what I know from at this point. I know that, from there, one could absolutely learn a lot of other things, and not go in the wrong direction. If I had just had figured this out, a lot sooner, I would have had a lot of more good years where I was more, so I could have worked on this. I'm finding it, of course, it's just nice to figure something out at least. And now I'm at the moment I'm on diflucan, which is a synthetic drug from the medical mafia. It was very hard to actually let them give it to me and all that. But I think I have a pretty outspread problem in regards of fungi and all that. So sadly, I can close down the issue down there and the groin in regards of meat and all that. But overall, it's still, it's so rooted now, over so many years. So it's, so again, trying different things and all that, you have to try things. But again, if you're at the beginning of the itch and it might not be, it might be pretty local in regards of where the issue is, well, you might be able to fix the issue by stopping feeding the fungi. And again, if you want a little more push in regards of it, and if diflucan might be an option, which the doctor might not be so willing to prescribe, but they prescribe it to women. So just remember, you have to change your diet, because if you're taking something and killing off fungi and just feeding the fungi, it might just return with a vengeance. So this is a serious condition. This is absolutely a very, very serious condition that it seems like the doctors are totally overlooking in regards to people, because the industry or the medical mafia are treating symptoms instead of treating the cause. And the cause is, well, fungi, fungus. Fungus seems to be a big problem in our society, and yet they are overlooking it and just calling these different symptoms different names, and then they can treat you for a long, long time and make you more sick, and of course treat you more and mistreat you and give you fungus poison, which is it's just antibiotic. It means against life, and against life, so already there it means against life. Anti, against, and life, biotic, and all that. But not only that, actually antibiotics is mold poison. It's mold poison, it's fungus poison. So if they're going to go that route, be careful, because that might just make things worse. So that's just my opinion, I'm not a white coat murderer, Latin spouter, drug dealer and so forth. That's not me. I don't have the education and all that, and of that kind. It's just, try different things out in regards to the experience I've gotten throughout the years. And, that's the best thing that I can give you, if you, again, have a problem in the... again, if you catch it early on, you might turn the boat around, and that would be nice, because who wants to have suffering for a lot of years and having issues and feeling, low on energy and not feeling well and all that? And just having the doctors tell you that nothing is wrong with you and so forward, because they have a problem actually figuring out in regards of if there's a fungi having an issue and all that. And then of course they, so yeah. So again, if you catch it early on, it will be easier to turn the boat around than than waiting and just letting, the doctors pretty much just made me feel like, hey, it must be me, I'm crazy, and then you live your life. The thing is, it doesn't really, when you say, oh, you just need to go out on the work market and work and so forward and all that, or it doesn't really work. It doesn't really change that the issue is still there and it's still growing in you and it's still, a problem. And yet, they give you these, I think they, they put you in the crazy wagon in regards, they just think, you're just a hypochondria and all that, and pretty much, it's just, they seem to believe it's all in your head, right? So, yeah, anyway. So that's all that I can pretty much give of information. Again, antifungals, natural antifungals. There's many different antifungals, and I'm still trying to get things into my. I've tried a lot of things over the years. The problem is that the fungi seems to become accustomed to these things, and then it's like the diflucan, for example. Even if diflucan is the most used fungi remedy as far as I know, in regards of fungi and all that, the fungi can still become resistant to it, And already there's, I think it was 7% chance that it's already resistance to the diflucan. So again, even the medical mafias, and of course that's one of the things they have problems with, because some of these, some of these fungus species have a really high resistance to a lot of their remedies. So in any case, and again, in regards to the natural antifungals, the fungi, it might work in the beginning. You might actually feel a release and all that, and then stop working. It's like, oh, I found something that works, and down the line it then stops working. It's just but like cinnamon, you could put some oregano and some cloves and all that. That's said to be antifungal, and there's other things and all that. If you can just get them in your diet a little by little and all that, so you keep your chances away from getting any fungus issues and all that. That would probably be, I guess I've taken me years to try to figure out what is actually, and if I knew what I know now in the past, I think I could have turned things around. I think just, some of the things would already have turned the boat around, because I was pretty good health besides the itching. I was young. I was still in my youth in regards of energy and all that, pretty much, I guess. So what's going on here? Oh, we have a call from someone.
From plus 45 89 29 87 07.
Yeah, we'll just run away from that in some sense. So let's see. I guess it must probably be one of these foreign nations, calling, and I don't know. They have a way of and they try to scam you and all that. Anyway, who knows? Anyway, we're making a video, right? So yeah, it's I could probably have fixed my things in the past if I had just known about that. Also, some people talk about resveratrol. I have to be careful in regards to it. There's something new that I was trying out, and I probably shouldn't have tried it out while I was on diflucan and all that. And cinnamon we had pretty much. So yeah, coconut oil is also said to be antifungal. Olive oil is said to be antifungal. Yeah, it's pretty much. Butter is the best fat, but the problem is there's sugar in the butter. But if you're at the point that it's not a problem with a little bit of sugar, and if you can actually do just take off alcohol and all that, and if you can actually do with sugar, a little sugar and all that, well, butter is I think the preferred fat, at least for me. I think it tastes the best. And it's really hard to get tallow, at least in Denmark. It's pretty much near impossible to actually get tallow anywhere in any shop. You see, you have all these things of all these unnatural oils or oils in general and all that, like huge amount, but can you get tallow? No, you can't get tallow. So why can't we get tallow? Well, I don't know. It's just, again, this demonic world, I can't even buy tallow in the shops. It's food source that have been used for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and you're telling me I can't get it in the shop. It's incredible. It's so you can get pork fat. I'm not sure if they have done anything to it, but pork fat are considered unclean according to the Bible, so that would be a no-go. That's the closest thing that you can actually get in the shops. Besides that, there's oils and more oils, pretty much. But anyway, coconut oil is said to be antifungal, and olive oils are said to be, antifungal. But of course, the thing is, there's no sugar in it, and that's the thing that we, the less sugar, the better. Just a little bit of sugar. When I did it, could actually begin the things again. So. When I did a lot of meat at the meat diet and all that, I was eating a huge amount of meat and all that. And just if I strayed from eating meat, the thing would begin again in the penis, and that's not very nice, But again, you might not be so hit, so it might actually work. Just still adding a little, things that are sugar in it. you need to, the idea is to starve the fungi and not feed it. And if you're eating a lot of sugar, which is like most of the Western diet, where you're just feeding it a huge amount. And we are attacked on so many levels in this society in regards of our health. So don't destroy your health. Try to keep healthy, because there's so many factors out there trying, even if you're not smoking, not drinking and all that, there's factors out there that's trying to ruin your health. And, So, but there are some things where, of course, we can still do ourselves, and to at least minimize the risk of actually getting into an issue. Because it's not fun if you're actually living it's just in regards of, the quality of life tends to go down when you are having issues, and that's not so nice, right? And you don't need to try for yourself in regards of alcohol destroying your health, for example. You can just look at people drinking alcohol every day, Their health just, goes down, It's not healthy. It's not healthy, So again, it's, I would agree that a diet in regards of, focusing on being antifungal is the way to go in regards of food. And there are other things, and I'm still researching a lot of and trying to collect, as I've done down the years and all that. And not really, there's so much bullshit out there, and that's the problem. So you're led in so many different directions. Satan really has his what do you call it? Has false prophets out there, and showing a lot of falsehood here and there. It's so sad, because this should living in the 21st century, we should just know these things. It's just in regards of good nutrition and good health and all that. That should just be a thing that we would all know. I remember the pyramid from school and all that, and they had meat on the top of the little pyramid, so that would like a little bit of meat, right? And then in regards to the greens and all that in the middle, and then in the bottom, potatoes and bread and sugar, pretty much, right? Because it's just sugar, it's starches, it's sugar. But don't eat too much meat. Meat dangerous, right? Give me a break. Anyway, so we're feeding the fungi on so many levels. We go to the shops, we eat candy, a lot of candy full of sugar, and more sugar, and it's just incredible. And we wonder why we're getting sick, and alcohol as well. Alcohol, sugar, mycotoxins in regards of fungal poison and all that, furthering destroying our health and so forward. And in the Danish state food thing in regards of their website and all that, they actually say that mycotoxins over a longer period, a little by little, can cause cancer. Oh, really? Well, what is mycotoxins? Well, that's fungus poison. And if you're going down in regards to the immune system, I'm sure there might also be some spores, some babies coming along, and they might, who knows, they might actually end up living in you, and you don't want them to live in you, right? So, or whatever, So, it's interesting how they just want to totally overlook in regards to the fungus issue, in regards of cancer. But of course, it's big business, right? Hey, the cure is just around the corner, right? The cure is just around the corner. Just give us some more millions, right? Millions. It's just so disgusting, This world is just utterly outrageous and disgusting. I have no idea, Yeah, let's put more money in the big deep hole, that endless hole of sucking all the resources from the people, while it actually promotes cancer instead of actually solving the issue. Because the cure is just around the corner since, well, a long time, right? The cure is just around the corner. We just need a little more. And how long have we been hearing that? For a long time. you know? So anyway, it's just incredible. They're not there to make people, healthy. They're not there to look at the cause. They're there to, treat symptoms and get a lot of money, It's a bullshit system. This whole wicked world is just bullshit, pretty much. Instead of looking on the causes, they're looking on the symptoms because there's money in the symptoms. So if you can treat the symptom instead of treating the cause, yeah, big business. Because you didn't really put out the fire. You just, was blowing a little on the what do you call it? The smoke, pretty much. You're blowing the smoke away, but the fire is still burning. Oh my. Yeah. Anyway, I guess that's all for me. I hope if you're sick out there having issue, I hope you get better. It's very sad to So yeah. Anyway, may Jehovah be with you, and may Yeshua be a most precious pearl, and may the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, be in us all. Amen. And remember that we're all going to die. So the only remedy for death is in regards of Jesus Christ or Yeshua. So even in regards of, there's only one way to everlasting life, and that's through Yeshua HaMashiach, or Jesus Christ, as we call him, pretty much in English, at least. So just remember that. That is still that's two important things to know in this life, that I think is the two most important things to know. One, who is Jesus Christ? Because there's a lot of false versions. The devil has been very, 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 what is it called in English? Very, very, he's, really working on this. What's it called? Very, very, what do you call it when someone is very, really going for it? So there's a lot of false versions of Jesus Christ in the world. That's a huge amount, and the two most important versions of false versions is to know is in regards to the cookie Jesus of the Roman Catholics and the Mohammedan only prophet version of Jesus. That's the two most important versions to know about of all the false versions out there, and that's a lot. That's a lot of false versions. So anyway, so to know who Jesus Christ is I think it's the most important thing to know. And then the second thing is to know who the Antichrist is, because you don't want to be deceived by the Antichrist. The Antichrist of the number 666 have been here for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It is pretty much the dynasty of the papacy. All these people in regards of the papacy in the office and seat of the papacy, or the poopacy as I call it, is the Antichrist of the number 666. Who thinks to change times and laws, and who persecutes the saints. And the saints are those keeping, guarding, and protecting the law of Jehovah and the testimony of Yeshua HaMashiach, or Jesus Christ, So anyway, be aware of wolves in sheep clothing, that if possible could deceive the elect. That was the warning from our master. I don't know if I did it word by word, but very close. The meaning is there for sure. So anyway, I guess that's all for me. So have a good one, and that's all. And hope you get healthy. Hope you get it fixed. It's very sad to. It's very sad to go around with a secret problem in some sense, with a problem that you really can't, there's no solutions, you're getting a lot, it's a hidden thing in some sense. It's not something that people just can see there's an issue with you, right? It's a hidden issue in some sense, this itch, and if it's driving you mad and so forward, it's nice to actually get a release in some sense, just to have a break from the itch, that's I would have wished that I could, but it does seem to have its own life of going up and down. But if you're eating only meat, you can pretty much, you can get it from up here down to very low, But again, you can try it out for yourself, and it's not something that is costing anything. I'm just giving you some, some what I've had, experience and regards of. So you can take it or leave it. So that's pretty much it. And again, in regards to the diflucan, might be a thing as well. If there's, if it doesn't, if your doctor have tried creams and so forward, and he's maybe if the doctor is on the right path in regards of, but it's not working, maybe try to suggest trying diflucan. If you can actually get it totally cured, so you can turn the whole boat around, and then and maybe still. It's just, again, it's just, you want to overcome this. You want to have it, you want to fight it back. You want to have it gone, pretty much. You want to get, on with your life in some sense. But of course, if you're turning back to stupidity, you might expect that it might come again, so, and maybe with a vengeance. So just take care in regards of, if you have a fungus issue and all that, and it might be a good idea to never drink, anyway, but of course you will get your own experiences and all that in regards of it, and sugar and all that. You will, if you will begin to see what actually, and again, if you can go totally low and you're, great, and then it begins to come again in regards, so what did you do, Did you go off? Did you begin to, did you drink alcohol? Did you eat sugar or whatever, lots of sugar or whatever, so, yeah, anyway, when I had the itch, I think I would have done, or in the beginning when the itch was there, I think I would have pretty much done everything that anyone would have said to me in regards of getting this fixed, instead of putting question mark, any case. Because if you're really in that level where it's just driving you totally nuts, you want to, you want to try something that might work, because this is horrible, So anyway, that's, some tips, I guess, on the way. Again, diflucan is used as a one cure pill for women in regards of fungus issues down there. And it's also, if you look at the manual, they actually also talk about the male penis. Isn't that nice? And yet, no one tried that on me. If you have an itch on the tip of your penis or whatever, this manual in regards of it actually talks about, that, not only in regards of women, but also in regards of men. Which is interesting, see here if I can find it. Apparently I have a little difficult finding it on the page. Oh, here we go. I'm translating from the Danish here. Fungus infections in the vagina or the penis. Oh, so it can be used to that. Okay. So why didn't anyone try it out on me? I have no idea. They just tried the creams and then pretty much gave up and just put me in the nutcase box instead of actually trying diflucan. And I'm thinking they should have known about diflucan. They must be using it for women. So if they already was, on the right track in regards of fungi, why not try some diflucan? Just try it some days and see if it works. And if it works, I don't understand it. I really don't understand it, why they could miss that. How they could miss such a... They should have known, but I guess if they don't get so much education in regards... But if they're using it for infections in women, in regards of the vaginas and so forward, as a one pill cure and all that, of course, it can, the one pill cure is maybe a little too optimistic, but maybe it works for some, in regards to the one pill. But it seems like people, using it for, just a little more than one pill. But yeah, again, if it's, I guess it could, work for some, apparently. But some are absolutely using it for longer times to get over their. So the one pill cure, I think it's a little optimistic, But that's what it's known for in regards of women problems and all that. But again, it can also be used for men in regards to their penises. and yet it's apparently something overlooked. And I think there's a possibility that might actually have fixed my issue in the past, and of course changing my diet as well. That would be something that I should have done as well. Drinking alcohol is just stupid when you have a fungus issue. It's like if you have a fungus issue, it's like people don't want to stop drinking. It's like, what? You won't want. It's just, still want to drink, and how would you expect to actually get over this fungus infection if you're not going to stop? Anyway, of course we're on different levels. Some might actually, but I would just rid all the alcohol and the sugar and all that, and just try the meat out. You can buy some ribeyes, some good ribeyes. Get some good ribeyes if you have the money for it, or if you don't have the money, you can buy some grounded meat, standard grounded meat is, see if you can get it from a pretty good source. Be careful of the fat, because if you're going on a meat diet, you might, from another diet and changing it, the fat might actually make your gut go a little, so be careful of the fat, because it might actually just, end up you needing to go to the toilet and all that. But meat with more fat does seem to taste better and all that. But just be aware that some of the meat that grounded meat that doesn't have so much fat in it can be pretty dry in some sense. But of course, this is just just to see if it actually works, and if it works, you can go from there. This is like 8 to 12% fat in this one. And you can usually get lower than that, and it's usually also a little more expensive. Now, of course, if there's more fat, it tastes better, and it's more, it's better, I think. But anyway, you can get some ribeyes or some other kind of meat. I bought these lamb chops, and then I found out that might not be so good, because it seems they actually are halal. So I stopped doing that, but anyway, I didn't know that from the beginning. That was bad. But anyway, they taste pretty good. You could just like maybe 1 kilo to 1.5 kilos of a lamb chop and all that. And you can just sit there and feel like a man, and eat some meat, and that's pretty yummy as well. What is it called? Lamb. That's both the front leg and the back leg and all that, and it's pretty yummy. Or you can just eat, buy some ribeyes, but they are pretty expensive, but that's pretty tasty, and yeah, that's so there are different options for it. For doing it, the cheap way, the expensive way, the whatever, I'll try some things that you haven't tried for a long time. And in regards of other things to eat, it doesn't really matter. If you're eating meat, you're going to get full, If you're sitting there with a lamb thing and all that, and you're eating, you will get full at some point, And if you're hungry, just eat some more, right? Anyway, but again, if you're not so hit and all that, again, you could still try to get some, some olives, some avocados, cucumber, maybe some broccoli and all that. They are pretty much low in sugar. And some say they have other benefits in regards to like the broccoli. I don't know. I don't know. In any case, just keep it low sugar, And if it works, even if you have the low sugary things in it, hey, you pretty much hit the nail, right? And then then you know how to continue to, keep it down. And so attacking it on many fronts, trying to fix it from many fronts and angles, If you find the key for it, you don't, and figure out how to do it then you can just make it a lifestyle pretty much and go from there. Yeah. And, don't end up like me getting into, 19 years of suffering and weird things going on and this and that. You could just move from a good level already having a good foundation for moving forward. That's the best that I can give. So I think I pretty much told you most of the things. Of course, there's a lot of other things, but overall, I think that's a good start. Again, if you have the itch and it's driving you nuts, try it out. What do you have to lose? I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to help you. And because it's really sad to have these issues going on for years and years and years, and it can really make your life miserable. And we don't want to do that, right? And of course, remember in regards of Jesus and all that, you can read about Jesus in regards of Yeshua, in regards to the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and be careful of Paulus. Again, Yeshua warned us about wolves in sheep clothing and all that. And I think we have a problem in regards of the Roman Pharisee, but that would be Paulus. But anyway, so, Yeshua said the good eatable wheat would be sown first, and then the devil would sow his poisonous darnel, and they would grow up together until the harvest. Now, the harvest is still future, so it's an ongoing prophecy of Jesus at the moment. But yeah, what do we see in the world? Well, I think we see exactly that. So, anyway, so we have the devil's children, making them out to be something they are not. And then we have the real Christians. So, anyway, I think that's it for me. So have a good one, all of you. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Again, I hope you get better. I hope you catch it very early on. And if you're maybe on the later stages of fungus issues and all that, well, maybe some of the tips will help anyway. I don't know. You probably have tried a lot of things already, right? So, yeah. And again, if you're on the later stages, that this might not be the pinnacle solution, but it might get you in the right direction, I'm still having issues, and I'm on the diflucan at the moment. But, if I had done this for 19 years ago, I think I could have turned the boat around pretty, actually might have been pretty easy to turn the boat around, at that point. And that, of course, would have been wonderful. And yet, no help at all. Anyway, so now it's pretty much rooted, I remember feeling it like going through my body and taking over. And, I remember when it got through here, I was like, oh my, it's going to take over my head as well. And, I just felt, something, in my body and down from the years, a lot of weird symptoms and all that. And so, yeah, it's, yeah. So hopefully you can get it nailed before it begins to spread, Of course, Candida albicans is a very, it's just, or fungus in general is, it's not something to toy around with, And we are being attacked on so many levels from society and from... It's just incredible, It's just incredible how far we actually coming, going away from what is natural. So it's yeah. That's... I guess, anyway, have a good one, all of you. And may Jehovah bless you. May Yeshua be a most precious pearl, and the Spirit of truth be in us all. Amen. Let us do the best that we can do to stand on truth, with whatever we have. Whatever truth we have, let's at least try the best to our possibility, our ability to stand for truth, right? It's just, we need to pull rope from Satan. If we stop pulling rope from Satan, which seems to be the case in our days, well, and just drop the rope, well, Satan begins to take it, right? Without any effort. And that's seemingly what he's doing in our days and have been doing for a long time. And we're just losing more and more truth. And it's just going really, really bad for us because we don't care. We don't care. We pretty much don't care about the truth. And that's a big issue. Because a society that don't care about the truth, well, will turn to Satan and the Antichrist. And, yeah. Anyway, very sad. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Shalom.